Hi, the security lady back here with you. We have an incredible story of something that happens to people every day, but the result is usually different. Mr. Perry, I heard that you lost your cell phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me a little bit about what happened? He lost his cell phone, guys. Like I said, this happens all the time, but what's unique about your story?
Well, I was at the Shell gas station, and I set my cell phone down and left it. And I got home and I realized I left it at the Shell station and jumped in my truck, drove back up there to get it, and asked the attendant if anybody turned in the cell phone, and it was gone.
Wow, so you left your cell phone at the Shell gas station, like a lot of people do, went back immediately to get it, and it was gone.
Gone.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, I came back home and woke my daughters up and asked them how to use the thing called Find My iPhone. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of that,
Okay, well, they looked it up, and I guess to actually locate the phone, your cell phone has to be on.
Okay.
So they tried the Find My iPhone thing, and it couldn't locate it because the phone was off. So the person who took it must have known what they were doing, so we couldn't locate it.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, we kept on entering the Find My phone, and they finally turned the phone on. So the GPS tracking got a location on it and told us exactly where the phone was.
Okay, so it was because of the GPS tracking on the phone that you were actually able to locate it. Now, are people out there do they really turn on the phone knowing that phones these days have GPS tracking systems?
I would hope not. I would presume not. A thief wouldn't, if they knew that they were going to be tracked, that they wouldn't turn the phone on.
But in your case, they did.
Yes, well, they turned it on and located it in somebody's yard. It actually pinpointed my phone in somebody's yard. For example, this is my house. The phone was located at the end of my driveway. So I knocked on a couple of doors and nobody seemed to know anything about the phone. So we were kind of out of luck.
Weren't you afraid to just go and knocking on people's doors, accusing them of taking your phone?
Well, no, I didn't actually accuse them. I just asked them if they, since it was located in their yard, I just asked them if they might have seen it, or if somebody might have asked them if, they wanted to buy a phone, or, along that line.
Okay, and then what happened?
Well, nobody knew anything. They said they didn't have it. They're sorry. They couldn't help.
But the GPS locator specifically said that the phone was located in that particular yard.
In that particular yard.
Okay, go on.
Well, we kept on trying to locate the phone. Again, they turned off the phone again, so we couldn't locate it. So a couple of days went past. Well, they turned the phone back on again. This time they located it. It located in somebody's house, actually in a specific house.
Okay, you know this from the GPS locator.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I had made a police report that day, the first time they turned it. Well, this time we went and located it. We drove and found out exactly what house it was. So I called 911. Instead of knocking on people's doors this time, I called 911.
Smart move. The security lady knows that it's not a good idea just to go knocking on people's doors because you never know what type of person that you're dealing with. Okay.
Well, the police came. We told them the story. He actually looked at. You can actually track it from someone else's cell phone.
So is this the actual iPhone?
This is actually an iPhone.
This phone right here, Apple iPhone, white case. I bet this costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it costs a nice bit.
Okay, so continue. This is very intriguing about this.
Well, the police officer took my daughter's phone where we were tracking it from, and he looked at it himself and found out exactly what house it was because he wanted to go to the right house.
Wow. So police officers these days really do take time to just go find a simple iPhone. Out of the hundreds of thousands of cell phones that are lost and missing, this officer took the time to do that?
Well, yeah, I don't think he had to, but he did.
That was good. That just shows you that sometimes we need to have faith in our law enforcement personnel, because sometimes there are officers that really go above and beyond to find a simple cell phone out of the hundreds of thousands that are lost. Go on. This story is very interesting.
Well, I was sitting in front of the house, but the 911 dispatch recommended that I move from the front of the house. So when the police officer came, I was down at the corner. Well, he got the information, looked at the cell phone, found out exactly what house it was, and he went and knocked on the door. So from there, I don't know exactly what was said, what happened, but when he came back to me, he had my cell phone.
Do you believe that, people? This officer actually went, talked to some people, used some great skills, whatever, and the people actually had this iPhone right here, actually had this in their possession. The officer was able to retrieve his cell phone off of GPS locating systems within the cell phone. So how did you feel about that when you got your phone back?
Well, I was totally speechless.
Totally speechless.
Totally speechless.
And how are you feeling now?
I'm just go iPhone locator.
All right. There's nothing better than having a GPS locating system on your phone, in your car, on your person, taking care of your children. There's nothing like it. Thank you very much for joining us with this episode of The Security Lady and GPS Tracking Locators. So, about that GPS tracking, the Security Lady offers a special unique device called the Cell Phone Recon. It actually monitors and tracks remotely everything you can imagine from your cell phone. Incoming and outgoing emails, incoming and outgoing phone calls, incoming and outgoing text messages. It tracks every single one, and it actually reads exactly what your emails and your text messages say from a remote location. You can do that from your computer. Not only that, it can actually pull up on Google Maps automatically exactly where the call is coming from, where the email is coming from, where the phone was at the time you received all those things. Very, very unique, very special. Every person actually needs this. You lose your phone? Yes, the cell phone recon can make sure that you're able to trace that phone and get it back.